We've been getting so many requests to do a dedicated video about Mufti Menk, so here it is. He's somebody who has gained a lot of respect in the Muslim community. So guys, welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and up until recently I had no clue who he was, but due to the volume of videos that we do that explore the religion of Islam, many of you have been requesting new topics as well as videos about people beyond what we have ever done on the channel. So here we go, let's just jump into facts about Mufti Menk. Let's get an understanding about who this guy really is. So starting off with number 10, Mufti Menk was born in a well-respected family in Zimbabwe, and his birthday is June 27th, 1975. He's the 8th child out of 9 children. Now his father, he goes by the title of Sheikh Maulana Musa Menk. He's also a very well-known scholar as well as a da'i, which is a caller to Islam, and he's also an imam in a masjid or a mosque in Zimbabwe. So yeah, this whole being a scholar thing definitely runs in the family. Next thing I want to talk about is Mufti Menk. Like on his own, he was able to memorize some verses of the Quran. As a matter of fact, it was Surah At-Tabawa, which is the repentance. But he memorized this when he was just 3 years old. Apparently at just 3 years old, he picked this up from some other children that would come over to his house and recite the Quran to start learning and memorizing it. So him at 3 years old was listening to this and he started memorizing it. Now I guess this next fact doesn't come as a surprise, but he was actually predicted to be a Hafiz. Apparently how this went down was that a family friend invited Mufti Menk to just like recite verses of the Quran in front of his father as well as some other scholars. And this family friend actually did this because he heard the young child reciting verses in the house. So one of these scholars said to Mufti Menk's father that this little boy would be a Hafiz. And by the way, if you don't know, Hafiz is one of the people who memorize the entire Quran. This is a tradition that Muslims do to make sure that even if all the Qur'ans in the world are destroyed, it will still live on because people are going to memorize them. So from there, Mufti Ismail Menk, he began as a Hafiz at the age of 9 years old. And he completed the task at the age of 12 years old. He had fully memorized the entire Quran. From there, he continued to study Arabic as well as the Urdu language. And he also began to learn the Hanafi mazhab from a young age while he was studying Sharia law under his father. He also received a degree in Sharia law from the University of Medina, and from there he moved on to specialize in Ifta at Darul Uloom Kantharia in Gujarat, India. So as you can tell, he's a very educated, well-learned man, and he's actually very passionate about his faith and what he does. Unfortunately though, his life hasn't been all smooth sailing. One incident that occurred on October 31st, 2017 in Singapore, he was actually banned from entering into the country because Singapore believed that he expresses views that are not compatible with its multicultural laws and policies. According to the Straits Times, it was said that Mufti Menk said that it is blasphemous for Muslims to greet believers of other faiths during festivals such as Christmas or Deepavali. So Singapore's Minister of Home Affairs actually said in a statement that they made this decision to reject Mufti Menk's application for a short-term work pass because of his, and I quote, segregationist and divisive teachings. Now we reach halfway in this episode. Now before I continue into the last 5 facts that I want to share about Mufti Menk, be sure to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. Leaving a like really helps more people start to see our videos, so it's definitely appreciated, every thumbs up that you leave. Also, if this is your first time here to the channel, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. We post episodes daily, and I definitely don't want you to miss any of them. We got 5 more facts to talk about. At fact number 5, back in the year 2017, Mufti Menk actually published a collection of his sayings in a book titled Motivational Moments. Now, Motivational Moments actually features a compilation of 500 of his best quotes. And most of these quotes are popular quotes that he made that were liked and shared by his followers on various social media accounts. And then also in 2018, he published the second edition titled Motivational Moments 2. 2. These books have become very popular. People can go to Amazon and order them. And it's no surprise because a lot of people look to what he says for motivation, inspiration, as well as just clarification on the whole world of Islam, as well as other subjects. But you see, Mufti Menk, he's a human being like all of us. We struggle with certain issues. And at one point in his life, he had a very bad temper. So between the ages of around 14 to 18 years old, Mufti Menk was very hot-tempered. Like, you wouldn't even dare try to mess with him or make fun of him. And even his siblings were aware of this. But later on, Mufti Menk did say that he believes that Allah saved him from this kind of attitude by making him move to Medina, and that's where he worked on it. And today he says that by Allah's grace, it would be very difficult for him to get really angry like he used to. So we know that Mufti Menk is a very popular Islamic teacher. He's very active in teaching and lecturing all around the world, but he also runs different educational institutions. He's the head of the Fatwa department of the Council of Islamic Scholars of Zimbabwe, and that's known as the Majlisul Ulama Zimbabwe, which really caters to the educational needs for Muslims in Zimbabwe. And he's also one of the muwattins and an imam at the Masjid Al-Falah, one of the largest masjid or mosque in Harare in Zimbabwe. Also, did you know that he has a title of Grand Mufti of Zimbabwe? So the Grand Mufti, also called the Chief Mufti or the State Mufti, and even sometimes referred to as Supreme Mufti, and the Grand Mufti serve as the head of all other regional muftis. Now this position actually originated back in the Ottoman Empire and has been later adopted in a number of modern countries. And the final thing I want to share about Mufti Menk, one of the most inspirational things about him is that he enjoys spending a lot of his time with underprivileged people. Every single year during the Muslim month of Ramadan, he spends a lot of time in different communities around the world to share messages that relate to Islam. And he also mainly works just for the joy and pleasure of serving Allah without really any financial benefit at all. So that right there is just a testament of how passionate he is about his faith and beliefs. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you in this episode. Just 10 surprising facts about Mufti Menk. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one and learned something new. Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments down below, and we also do videos by request. Hundreds of you sent in so many requests. We're doing our best to go through every single one of them and trying to get as many request videos as possible. So if you have any more topics, be sure to let us know down below. Sometimes you gotta request it more than once because it's so hard to keep track. You can also reach out to me on social media. Those links are below in the video description section. Be sure to also check out the recommended episode that I'll have at this end screen, and I'll see you guys next time.